Hey folks, welcome back to Selenium WebDriver series. In this video, let's talk about path with contains method. In the previous video, we learned about how we can use the method, right? So in this video, let's talk about how the contains method works. So before we begin, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Let's start. First, we'll log into the application or in the HRM. Okay. How this contains method works is, suppose if I want to identify a particular dynamic element, okay, only certain, in a particular string, suppose say it generates ID saying that first starts with test, and the remaining things will be the dynamic one, will be the some numbers, okay, it will be dynamic, won't be same. So but here the static value is text or test, okay. So in that case what should happen is it should identify it, if we want to identify a particular element using this text or test, whatever the string is, okay, so that is when we will use this contains method. Suppose if we say that it starts with test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. In the next generation, it generates test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 5, 7. Okay. In this way, it is generating. Okay. It is a different ID values which is getting generated. Okay. We know that this string contains test as the static portion. The remaining things are changing ones. Okay, this portion is the dynamic part. So what I can do is using the uh, contains method, we should be able to identify this particular element. How the syntax looks is, suppose say it is in, let's say it is as, like, I don't know what is the um tag name is. So I'll mark it as star. So it is a wildcard search. Okay. And use this contains method. Okay. And within the bracket, attribute. Okay. Comma. And then the value of the attribute. So this is how the syntax of the contains method looks. Okay. So here in our application, if we inspect this, okay, and then let's say we will select this search box. Okay. So let's move this. Okay. After here, if you see here, I can use the placeholder. Okay. Here, placeholder, you can use any of this value. Okay. It can be anything in the search. Suppose, say, let's find it out. Double slash, and this is the input field. Okay. Input is the tag name, and then contains what is the attribute of it? Placeholder. Okay. At the rate placeholder, comma, what is the value of it? Value is search. So in here, if I just type in search, it should be able to identify, correct? So it identified. But here in our case, we don't want this full search to be given. We can just use some static portion. Okay, ACAR. Okay, so this also will work. Okay, but what if I use yes? Yes, this also works. This also works, and then even with yes. Okay, only a certain placeholder it matches with all the placeholders with the input tag, and then which is having which starts from or which contains this s. Okay, so basically that is how it identifies. So let's copy this, and then we'll go to the Eclipse. Let's uh, comment out this portion, and then we'll say Xpath, okay, with contains method, with contains method. Okay. So we will log in. Okay, until login, it remains the same. Now, what we have to do is we have to identify driver dot find element. Okay, by dot xpath. Okay, so in this xpath, we have to provide this value. So, what is that? This is the value of it. Okay, dot send keys. What is the value we can send? We'll send admin. Okay, so admin. And then let's wait. Let's add red dot sleep so we will be able to see whether it entered or not. Yeah. So it is getting, I mean, I ran it. Okay, it is running. Okay. Yes. If you see, it entered admin here. So this is how you can use the contains method when you have a combination of, static as well as dynamic string. So here we used full string, but we'll remove this. Okay, with partial string we will run it. Basically, we don't have any such data or input we can provide. We like combination of static plus dynamic here. So that is why when it comes to the real case scenario, so you can identify it using the combination like this. So it entered and then it passed. Okay. So this is how we can identify. Even with S also it works, right? Even it was able to identify with S as well. So let's run with yes, normal S. Yes, it identified. Okay, and then log out. Yes, it got passed. So now instead of yes, I'll search with EAR. Okay, let's see whether it is able to identify because the contains method is not expecting, full string. I mean, from the starting itself, it is not expecting. If in the dynamic element, it could be at any place in a string, it could be at any place. It can be uh, at any place it can be. So that is why we'll try with some different combination now. If you see, even with dynamic, a different set of value as well, it was able to identify. Okay, so here, if you see, in case here, it doesn't need to be in the starting itself. Here, this test could be at some other place as well. It could be at the last as well. Okay, so what we need is this particular string should contain that particular keyword. So that is the only major requirement when it comes to the contains method. Okay, hope in this video you learned how the contains method works. If you have liked this video, please do like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.